This character here, JP, has been an uncontested top 3 character, and depending who you ask, even top 1 character since Street Fighter 6's release in May of 2023. But even though he's a top 3 character, there's only been one player who's been able to be consistent top level results at the highest level of play, and that player is Kakeru. Not only has he had great results, he's also the richest winner in terms of tournament prize pools to date, and everyone loved this guy. He was one of the best. But then, after Capcom Cup a few months later, in about October of 2025, he made a shock announcement that really shook everyone in the Street Fighter scene, especially here in Japan. So this is the original tweet here from Kakeru in October 2023. I'm just going to do the quick translation here just so you guys can understand. But basically he made a long announcement saying that he's going to be retiring from the Street Fighter scene and the pro scene, and he basically brought it down to neural dysfunction. He never really said what kind of neural dysfunction he was having, but he's basically like, I can't play anymore, I can't do what I need to do, and I'm going to be quitting as a pro player. And he actually left his team, Zeta Division, in the middle of Street Fighter League, which was like a really shocking thing here in Japan, because that usually just doesn't happen. And after he made this announcement, everyone was kind of going crazy. What's wrong with Kakeru? Is it really just a neural dysfunction? There were lots of like rumors and stuff flying around, which I don't want to talk about. But he basically said, that's it, I'm leaving, I'm done. And then a lot of people were really sad because as much hate as this character gets, and rightfully so, his JP was different. He was fun to watch, and in case you guys can't tell yet, I was a huge fan of watching his play, and I found it really inspiring. It wasn't just a good JP, it was a really good fighting player playing a really good character at the highest level. And I think that's why so many people loved watching Kakeru play, myself included. So after this retirement tweet, people were really wondering what's going to happen to Kakeru, are we ever going to see him again? And there was no news really coming out of him until this tweet from January 11th popped up where he actually explained what's going on and what his plans are for the future. Now this is in Japanese, and I'm going to show the quick translation here from just like the auto translation, but I think a lot of important things are lost in translation with this auto translation, so I'm going to give you a more clear picture of what he's actually trying to say here, because I do read and speak Japanese. So he says quite a bit of things here, but the important part is this paragraph right here, where he basically says he wants to continue playing Street Fighter 6 just as a regular player, and he doesn't want it to become work, because if it feels like work, then the way he kind of interacts with the game and how he enjoys gaming will change, and it becomes something he doesn't want. And he said once things kind of calm down in his personal life, he will stream again, but he has no intent of becoming like a pro streamer or pro YouTuber. So basically nothing consistent. He'll just stream when he wants, when he feels like it, just so it doesn't feel like work and something he just enjoys. So I'm sure a lot of people had different takes on this, but when I read it, the first thing that came to my mind was, oh, this guy just wants to play fighting games, but he doesn't want to be like a pro gamer. Because, you know, being a pro gamer, it's not just about playing games, it's about doing many other things. You have to do photo shoots, you have to travel to different countries for tournaments, you're like contractually obligated to it. There are meet and greets you have to do, and I have a feeling Kakeru is the kind of guy who just wants to play games. And not only that, it helps having $1.5 million in your pocket from winnings, which gives him the freedom to play fighting games the way he wants to, just, you know, to be strong and to play when he wants, how he wants. And then on April 24th, we got this saying, I got back to Legend. He has this nice little blurred out photo of him getting a Legend rank again with JP. And then after that, we've got this saying he got first place in the MR rankings, 2,364 MR. And you would expect no less from the former Capcom Cup champion. This guy is good. Then after all these tweets, people were really starting to wonder, well, what's he actually up to? What is his goal? Is he back? Is he not back? Is he retired? Is he unretired? What's actually happening with Kakeru? Well, if you guys don't know, yesterday was the start of the World Warrior Tournament Series for Capcom Cup. And no surprise, who showed up? It was none other than Kakeru. Some quick spoilers in case you haven't seen it. He got all the way up to top 8. Not going to say his final rankings in case you don't want to know, but there will be spoilers in the rest of this video. So if you want to watch the replays of that, check it out. Stop this video, check it out first, and then come back and watch this. But he took out a ton of people, and the only person he lost to in the whole tournament series was Hikaru's Aki. So yeah, Kakeru is back in the Capcom Pro Tour World Warrior Series. So I think he's just going to be here playing as like a strong player without any like pro player obligations. I think he just wants to be good, win when he wants, get his points, and either gatekeep like a madman, or really just win as like an unsponsored solo player. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch some of this video. I'm going to show you guys what I think makes him such a great player and just enjoy this together. I don't know about you guys, I'm happy to see that he's back in at least some form, even if he's not a pro player anymore. I just want to see Kakeru play. Let's check this out. So the first match we have here in losers for top 8 was Kakeru, aura farming like a madman, by the way. Look at this picture he used. This guy knows exactly what he's up to. I gotta respect it. That picture goes hard, man. And he was fighting in losers against Akutagawa. If you guys don't know, Akutagawa, widely considered to be the best Manon player in the world right now. And kind of the polar opposite of Kakeru. He just got sponsored. This guy was like dodging sponsors forever. There's a lot of reasons why. There's a lot of rumors I've heard. I don't want to say anything just in case what I heard was wrong. But basically, he put off getting sponsored for a long time. Finally gets a sponsor, and then he has to fight in losers top 8 against the guy who doesn't want a sponsor anymore. And let's just take a look at how this goes. So this is pretty much a masterclass in how you're supposed to fight against a grappler. So we just see like typical Kakeru stuff, really good spacing, not overextending, great counter hit confirm on that crouching medium kick, getting the combo there. And there, Akutagawa, Manon gets the first command grab, and we're going to see some really good Manon counterplay coming up soon. So if you guys don't know how to fight against Manon, I'm going to show you some really good things that he's using here. So just, you know, playing good footsie, spacing, staying inside that standing medium kick, crouching medium kick range. Let's just go back a second. So this is a really common thing you'll see at high level play, where you'll tap parry on wake up, but you'll hold parry down instead of tapping it, and then drive rush forward after. This way, if you get a perfect parry, the perfect parry animation eats your drive rush input, and you just get a combo. But if your opponent doesn't go for a button, they decide to walk up and throw, you'll get thrown out of the drive rush animation, which means you get a counter hit instead of a punish counter, and you won't get burnt out as much, or you won't lose as much drive meter, and you won't take as much damage. That's a really high level option set you can use. You'll see that a ton in pro play, but basically instead of just tapping parry, hold it and drive rush forward. It's a little bit less risk in those kind of guess situations. Anyways, Kakeru gets the conversion off the punish counter for the whiff. Gets command grabbed in a bad spot here, and Akutagawa gets the level 3, and this is going to be round. Here we go, just forcing those counter hits with that crouching medium kick into buttons, zoning out. And what Kakeru tends to do is he usually tends to like value chipping his opponent's drive gauge rather than just straight doing damage. He's really playing Street Fighter 6. I've said this so many times both on stream and in my videos. Street Fighter 6 at the end of the day is a meter management game. So if you're able to, and as I'm saying that, look at that anti-air from Akutagawa. That was sick. But yeah, Street Fighter 6 is really a meter management game at its core, and then, you know, if you're able to manage your meter versus your opponent's meter more, you will win, even though maybe you have like slightly worse like neutral game than the opponent. Not always, not a pro play, but generally speaking, yeah. So what we just saw there was Kakeru backdashing as a read against command grab, and there's a reason why Kakeru goes for backdash against command grab more than neutral jump. Now, the reason why he does backdash instead of neutral jumping so much is because if you neutral jump and your read is wrong, you give your opponent a chance to do an anti-air. And Manon has really good anti-airs. Crouching hard punch is a good anti-air. Her flip kick is a good anti-air, and that leaves you in a disadvantageous position afterwards. But by backdashing, you don't get hit by the anti-air, and if you're wrong, you'll eat a combo instead. And Manon doesn't really have amazing Oki off of her combos, so this is something that Kakeru is really good at. He knows that, and he just going for the backdash instead of the vertical jump. So if you guys kind of struggle against grapplers, try to go for backdashes more rather than just vertical jumps all the time. It also gives you a better punish most of the time too. Alright, here we go. See how quickly Kakeru got Akutagawa back into burnout? Just really not overextending. Eats a normal throw there. So now Akutagawa having to stop doing the command grabs and going for regular grabs, because if the regular grab whiffs on the backdash, it's less disadvantageous for Manon. Alright, so here Kakeru's spending all his meter. There, they're both in burnout. You can't punish a drive reversal when you're in burnout. Gets the dash, sorry, into the level 2. And that's going to be round. Okay, so now here Kakeru from behind. There we go, another backdash on the command grab, and this is going to be close to burnout for Akutagawa. Again, Kakeru just really focusing on that burnout. Gets the anti-air crouching hard punch with the trade. There, the counter hit standing heavy kick. Boom, into the corner. Now he gets to run his mix. Sets a portal. And the clutch. Perfect parry from Akutagawa's Manon. And they're backdashing to not get hit by that standing heavy kick, getting an air reset. Just playing some neutral. Again, Kakeru not taking too much risk. Pushing buttons with low recovery. Standing medium punch. Amazing button from JP. And just really not taking too much risk with anything he's doing. Not overextending, staying calm. But, you know, you're fighting a grappler, you're going to command grab eventually. And here, another example of great Manon counterplay. So, when Manon lands a command grab, she has an option to go for this overhead quarter circle back hard kick. Now, this isn't real, but it'll catch you pushing buttons and stuff like that. But if you know she's going to do this, you can actually just wake up with DI and you can beat her for it. But if you guys are fighting a Manon player and they love to do that quarter circle back hard kick after command grab when they knock you down, Wake up with DI, it's guaranteed against that option. And of course, Kakeru knows that, lands it, and gets the round, just when it counted. Another backdash against the command grab. I think that's 3 now in this set. And again, Akutagawa already below half drive meter. Just a constant theme of just Kakeru not overextending, getting clutch reads on that backdash, landing this, and then here we go. This is huge. You see this? This is the buff. I can't believe I'm saying this, but this is the buff that JP got in this recent patch of Street Fighter 6. So previously, JP could not cancel crouching medium kick into the finger snap on the portal, but now he can off of crouching medium kick and standing medium punch. So you see Kakeru using that new buff, showing that his time away hasn't made him any worse. He's still up to speed on all the new changes, gets the conversion from the portal, and there we go. That's going to put him up 2-0 in this best of 5 set. All right, here we go. This is for moving on to losers. Whoever loses this is not going to be able to keep on going. They're going to fall out of the tournament. So again, Kakeru just, really good, not overextending. Gets a jump, doesn't really work out for him. Now playing footsies again. Ballsy forward dash after blocking that crouching medium kick from Manon. Lots of Manons like to push buttons after that. Like a standing medium punch or something. There we go. So Akutagawa really trying to force the corner where he can kind of keep his pressure up, and Kakeru can't really escape easily, but there we go. Kakeru showing character knowledge, using the portal to escape the corner, not really to get mixed, just to stay safe, and the reaction against that flip, neutral jumps, gets the full punish. There we go, walking back and forth, respacing himself properly, showing complete character knowledge of this character, having to readjust to make sure he keeps the corner and not get some kind of weird flippy combo out of that. And then again, just, safe pressure, good spacing. The dash goes for this, backdashing out of pressure, and there we go. That's going to get beat. Now we're up to match point from that. Yeah, again, just playing neutral, not overextending, letting Manon push the buttons first. Take the command grab, not the worst thing in the world. Doesn't get great Oki off of that mid-screen. There, lands a counter hit, sends him full screen again. Manon has to get back in. So, if you guys don't know this yet, one thing that gives JP like a really easy time against characters are characters that don't really have great drive rushes, because it's so much harder to navigate. And another backdash as we're going with that. And this is going to burn out Akutagawa, and this is going to be the beginning of the end. But as I was saying, characters with slower drive rushes have a very hard time navigating JP zoning. But if you have a fast drive rush, you can get through the ghosts and the spikes, like the ghosts of the fireballs, much easier. And Kakeru really taking advantage of Manon's slow drive rush during that whole set. And that's the end of it, sending Akutagawa home 3-0 for Kakeru. So the newly unsponsored casual player out of retirement coming back, making a statement against the new hot sponsored player from Japan. So there were a ton of matches. I don't want this video to be too long. We're not going to go over all of them. Let's just go to the final match to get into grand finals. So losers finals of Kakeru versus Hikaru, who actually sent him into losers in the beginning. If you're enjoying this, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps me out as a content creator and lets me make more videos like this in the future. But as always, I hope you're enjoying, and let's keep on going. All right, so if you ask anybody about these two characters, I don't think anybody would really say Aki's a better character in the tier list compared to JP. Aki's been kind of considered like a pretty mid-tier character over the past year, past couple of months, kind of thing. She hasn't been really seen as like a super strong character, but Hikaru shows just as much mastery of this character, perhaps even more so than Kakeru with his JP. Just textbook Aki play. And throughout this whole set, we're going to see a couple of things that really stand out. So Kakeru, if you guys don't know, he was known as like the perfect parry prince, because he's just like so good at perfect parries. But his perfect parries were actually really off this whole set. So against Aki, or any character with a slow fireball, like Aki, Guile, this kind of stuff, that slow fireball, if you don't have really good perfect parry ability to stop those fireballs, matchups become so much harder, because it just gives the opponent a free chance to drive rush at you, start the mix-ups, and it's really bad. But if you can perfect parry that fireball, then you're able to stop that advance with the drive rush from your opponent, at least more often than not. It's not always going to be consistent. I mean, it is Street Fighter 6, but it just makes it easier for you. But as we're seeing here, Kakeru is not really getting the perfect parry on any of those fireballs, and that lets Aki drive rush in. Now, if you remember, during the Akutagawa-Manon matchup, I was saying that characters with slow drive rushes have a hard time navigating JP's zoning and like spike game. Well, Aki is a character with really fast drive rushes. So this actually gave Kakeru a really hard time, because Aki could just kind of like drive rush through a lot of the ghost pressure and a lot of the spike pressure. And we'll see as the set goes on, Kakeru ends up using less and less and less zoning tools because he just can't deal with that really fast drive rush and Hikaru's really good fireball game. It's not that Aki really has an amazing fireball game per se, but Hikaru's use of fireballs, just like we saw right there with the regular fireball into OD fireball to beat JP's option there, was just so on point this set. It's just like a really textbook example of like how you should be playing Aki in this matchup. Gets that really big jump in against his zoning. There we go. Block on the drive reversal, and this is going to be the end of round 1. Level 3, and that's going to seal it. Alright, that's going to put it up to 1-0 Hikaru versus Kakeru. And then rematching right away, not wasting any time. They're just smashing that rematch button just like us at 2 a.m. on a Wednesday in our underwear playing ranked. Alright, so just some trades here. And then again, that fireball game from Hikaru's Aki, just really good. And really keeping JP out of range with both fireballs, whip, and drive rush. There we go. See, not able to perfect parry it. Gets the drive rush in for the throw. Now Hikaru not taking any risk, just holding back, and then there, see, using that drive rush speed to just get right through and not allow Hikaru to do any zoning. Okay, a nice conversion from Kakeru there. Using the, tries to get the overhead. Could have gotten a better conversion off that, but he already committed doing the fireball before, and a rare early missed crouching hard punch from Kakeru. He's usually really on point with those. So I think here we're starting to see a little bit of the fact that he was away for the game for so long starting to come into play versus someone like Hikaru, who's been grinding like crazy. He has not had any time off. And if you guys don't know, Hikaru is one of the best players here in Japan. Young player too. I think he's 18, 19 years old, something like that. At least younger than 21. So we're going to be seeing a lot more of him as time goes on, I'm sure. Nice backdash attempt on the throw there. Not able to get the throw whiff punish though. And there we go. Hikaru using his own drive rush to get in. Only 10 seconds left on the board. Pops the level 2. Trying to do some damage. There you the hard to blockables. You can only guess right so many times against JP's level 2. And Kakeru takes that round. So he's up 1 round now. There you go. Gets the counter hit throw. Catching Hikaru pushing buttons. Nice little stance there to make Kakeru whiff that standing hard punch, but not able to get a whiff punish, unfortunately. That button is crazy hard to whiff punish because of its really small hurt box and fast recovery. There, both people whiffing, no whiff punish. We're just poking here. And again, Hikaru's use of normals trying to keep him out, but a big whiff there. Kakeru, no slouch. You whiff on him twice in a row. That's not gonna happen anymore. Gets the whiff punish, goes back to neutral. Uses drive meter to keep pressure, and you see how he's just kind of, both players are kind of disengaging when they're in a range they don't want to be in. That's really important in a match like this, Street Fighter 6. There, tries to go for that little stance thing to catch him pushing a button again. Kakeru picked up on that pattern from the first time and goes for the immediate counterplay with the jumping hard kick to catch that. Just, I think one thing when you're watching really high-level players play, it's not only their ability to adapt really quick, but also to know the counterplay and what the best option is against that. Like, how many of you watching even knew that that's what you should do against Aki, doing a little flip animation there to catch you pushing buttons, you know, to make you whiff on purpose and punish you? Probably not many people, but if you did know, power to you. But just Kakeru adapting with the correct answer. Amazing stuff. There, another counter hit, doesn't get much off of it. There, bad zoning attempt. Then we get the pressure from Hikaru, stopping that drive rush again. See, adapting, noticing that Kakeru was going for that hold parry drive rush option select thing, catches him with a button, checks the drive rush, gets a combo for the win. And this is when we start to see the tides really shift with that fireball. Starting now, you're going to see Kakeru try to jump a lot of Hikaru's fireballs, but Hikaru is able to space his fireball and change his timing in a way that is able to beat Kakeru and bait him into jumping, and he's going to get anti-aired a bunch. Check this out. See, again, that drive rush option select getting stuffed by Hikaru. There we go, another anti-air. That's 2. Okay, that sweep from Aki, only -3 on block. Most sweeps are really punishable in this game. That one is not. See, there we go. Kakeru can't do anything against that. Not at that spacing. Stops him. Misses the conversion, unfortunately. Just playing some neutral here. Walking back and forth. Staying safe. Not trying to overextend. Don't want to engage. And there we go. Another anti-air for the perfect. Hikaru up 2-0. She's doing 2 more rounds to make it into Grand Finals. Alright, we're moving fast here. We're into the next match. There we go again. With the fireball game. Gonna drive rush in again. No perfect parry from Kakeru. And that's, I think Hikaru's gone for 2 overheads, or 2 or 3 overheads out of drive rush so far. None of them have worked. There, Kakeru knows he doesn't want to deal with that pressure. Uses drive reversal against Aki's drive rush forward heavy kick. That is counterplay against it. If you do drive reversal there, Aki can't really do anything. So for you guys struggling in the Aki matchup, keep that in mind. There we go, another anti-air from Hikaru. Gets the knockdown, goes for the pressure. Delayed buttons to catch a throw tech attempt, probably. There was a counter hit there, so I'm going to assume it was a throw tech. There we go, just keeping him out, using whip, and then another anti-air. That's 4, I think. 4 fireball anti-airs, 4, possibly 5 if you just count jumps. And again, Hikaru not overextending, walking backwards out of that portal pressure, doesn't want to overextend. Hops behind him, ready for that throw tech. That was a crazy good throw tech, by the way. It's scary to throw tech there. There again, just drive rushing through the zoning pressure to not let JP get his game started. And then walking in for the throw. Gets hit by the cross-up teleport. And there, that's really strong. Delayed jump is really strong against good players, and Aki has one of the best jumping cross-up attacks with her jumping crouching hard punch. Catches a ton of people at ranges where most cross-ups wouldn't be able to hit. And if you guys have ever fought Aki's online before, I know you've got hit by that. There we go, that's 6 anti-airs. Almost 7, was kind of committed to walking forward, so wasn't able to get it there. That's an awkward angle for Aki to anti-air at anyways. And then here we're going to start to see Kakeru use a lot more feint ghosts. Again, playing neutral, gets a nice conversion off that standing hard punch. Didn't have enough drive meter to safely drive rush cancel for a full combo though. Good meter awareness from Kakeru there to not overextend. That wouldn't have put him in a good position even if the combo hit. He didn't have level 3. And that's what I'm saying. This game is more about drive rush meter management than anything else. There we go. That's the anti-air crouching hard punch that he missed before. Gets it this time. And Hikaru just... Okay, this is big, but... Kakeru misses the attempt. So that is really tricky because if you perfect parry the first hit of that move, the second one will hit you. So you have to either use like a super or like some kind of vulnerable move. Had Kakeru gone for OD Amnesia, probably would have worked there, but I'm not a JP main, so I'm not exactly sure what the best option is, but I know OD Amnesia would have worked. Just really low reward though because of the damage scaling on parry and Amnesia. Okay, there we go. Gets a wake up mash on the jab with the counter hit. Gets level 3 and that's going to put him up to the next round. Nope, actually, I was wrong with that. So has a little bit of health left. There we go. Finally gets the zoning. See, now where Hikaru doesn't have the drive meter to drive rush because he's in burnout, Kakeru is able to enforce his zoning a lot better than he was able to before. Okay. There, jumps out to avoid the standing hard kick frame trap, gets the air reset from it, and again, not able to get the perfect parry on the fireball. Kakeru just making his way in. Nice counter from Kakeru, just good awareness, good button timings, and there, using that new buff, the snap on the crouching medium kick. I still can't believe they gave that to JP. It is so incredibly strong. I don't know what Capcom was thinking when they cooked up that one, but I don't know. Chat, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Does JP need the crouching medium kick, standing medium punch, snap cancel on Portal? I'm going to argue no. Alright, so here, JP gets a nice conversion there in the corner, and that's going to be round. That's going to take him up to 2-2. Alright, here we go. 4 grand finals. Hikaru basically just starting the round with the OD Fireball. Doesn't get the whiff punish on that drive reversal though. And then here we're going to start to see that Hikaru plays in a way that doesn't allow Kakeru to throw any spikes in neutral. Nice conversion there. Gets from the corner. Gets the poison. Nice anti-air. Stops the jump out of the corner. Hikaru's ready for that. Of course, Aki doesn't have a DP, and sometimes the upwards whip can be really hard to anti-air at those kind of angles, but you see, using unconventional anti-airs to keep Kakeru from getting out of the corner for free, even lands a sneaky command grab there from stance. Drive rushing again, 3 lows in a row, 4 lows in a row, back jump medium punch, I think that was, or light punch. Again, the unconventional anti-air, and the fuzzy attack versus throw for the win, actually getting a perfect on that round. Again, that unpunishable sweep from Aki. That actually wasn't a punish. Kakeru was a little bit late on that jumping button. Could have punished that had he pushed it a bit earlier. They're trying to get the zoning, but as we can see there, just drive rushing through it, not dealing with the zoning. Eats a crouching hard punch in the process, though. And another anti-air from Hikaru. Kakeru backdashing out to get away from the pressure, but putting himself into the corner in the process. There we go. Huge whiff punish from Hikaru. Gets a full corner carry. Decides to spend the level 1. Izaki actually gets really good. Okay, after this, if she drive rushes in after that level 1, it keeps him there. Tries to parry that ghost, doesn't quite work. And again, drive rushing in just to avoid that zone. He doesn't let Kakeru start any of his zoning game. And this is amazing patience right here from Hikaru, because we're going to see all these ghost feints from Kakeru. Usually what JP players will do, they'll do the ghost feint and they'll drive rush at you to try to throw your perfect parry attempt. But Hikaru just not biting on that, staying chill, not tapping parry, and just, playing his game, playing his spacing, not overextending, and really watching his drive meter. And then, there we go, against the fireball, throws a fireball, gets Kakeru to try to throw a ghost to beat it, and pops the level 2 as counterplay to that for the win, sending Kakeru home at 3rd place. Just pristine play from both of them, but Hikaru was kind of in the driver's seat that whole set, knew the matchup, did his homework, was ready, and basically played perfect Aki play against JP. I thought it was a really fun set. I loved it. Watching this live was incredibly fun, and also explaining this for you guys was a ton of fun too. That's going to bring us to the end of this video. I'm excited to see what Kakeru does the rest of this World Warrior season and what the future holds for him, and I hope you guys are excited too. But even more so, I hope you enjoyed that video. Once again, if you enjoyed this, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, but I appreciate your support just from watching this video nonetheless. Anyways guys, that's it for me today. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.